Hi, welcome to Prayers Radio. I'm Reverend Rich. This is Reverend,
Reverend Paul.
and
And
we have our special guest today, Reverend Veronica Silva. Say hi.
good morning, everyone. Good morning. I
Well,
love that music.
it's fun. Well, this is Prayers Radio, and this show is only about prayer. Ernest Holmes.
Affirmative prayer, yes.
There you go. I was gonna. Paul, where's that? Come on now.
Yes.
So what we do is normally is we have our guest Reverend pray us in. So if you don't mind praying us in, we're gonna just do that now.
Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Let's take a breath right here and right now and let it all out. Bringing us present to this now moment, this God moment, the only moment there is. And knowing from this place, this God place, this place of oneness, I declare right here and right now that our time is sacred, our time is blessed, our time is fun, and our time is transformative. That as we open and learn and grow from this thing called prayer, that we are ever changed by it, by this discussion. I know this is a powerful time. It can only be powerful because there is only one power. And I am so grateful for this opportunity to share with all. I release it with love, knowing that it is done. And we say together, and so it
And
is.
so
So
it
it is.
is. Yay.
Mm.
So you're from PacificCSL.org, and that's over in Seal Beach, California. I know because I visited her church on Sunday, and it's cool, and it rocks, and it's a big venue, and it's fun. And I also visited you on Christmas because I went to your Christmas party because I could fit like 6 of them in that day, and yours was a good time too there. So I got to just
Thank you.
raise and praise you. So what would you want to tell us about yourself?
Oh, gosh. Well, thank you for the raise and praise of our center. Definitely. I love our center. I feel that our center is a growing community and waking up. My intention is that people realize the magnificence that they truly are and wake up to
Mm.
it. And sometimes we know that that can be messy. Our theme for the year is cleaning up together from mess to mastery,
Mm.
because sometimes we have to dig deep into our beliefs and recognize some patterns that maybe we didn't want to see. So the beliefs our beliefs are powerful in both directions, right? The law responds to fear as much as it does faith. And so that's what our center does. We dig deep, we love deep, and we have fun. We have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, actually, just it's a good time. A lot of you have a youth program.
Hmm.
You have a very beautiful building that you're in, and it's right by the
Yes.
beach. So if you're looking
Yes.
for a community that you can walk to the beach after that and have some good food, they got some other places down there, and plus you got good food at your
Yes.
your venue there. So
And your
Yes. And
center was okay.
oh, I was going to say, and we have great music, amazing music. Yes, absolutely, with the award-winning music director. So we like to dance.
that's pacificcsl.org, just a reference on that. And so let's go
Hmm.
ahead and get into the questions. And are you ready?
Ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
So, what tangible results have you seen in prayer? Affirmative prayer.
What tangible results? Wow. Where shall I begin? I will say, just being seated in this seat with y'all is tangible result of prayer.
Mm.
I have known for since I was in my 30s that I wanted to be a minister. I didn't know how at that time, but I just knew it was within me, and so I just kept following the yeses, and knowing that that prayer seed had been planted within me,
Mm.
it manifested in 2020, and and I knew, once again, I didn't know how about being a senior minister, but I just knew that it was within me as well. And so that knowingness is a prayer in action. That seed is a prayer in action. And so
Mm.
kept following the yeses that guided me to senior ministry. So that definitely in the now moment is a prayer answered, and having a community, the beautiful community that is Pacific Coast, is prayer answered because I am so supported by such a great community that is prayer answered. So that's tangible, definitely, definitely.
And how do
I
you
kept
normally stay grounded in prayer? Because I
How
know
do I
with
say?
everything going on in the world right now, prayer is what we do.
Mm, right. Well, have a trust in God. I just know. I don't have to understand. See, there's a human characteristic that we call understanding, and we strive for understanding as humans because it brings us comfort. We feel comfort when we
Mm.
understand things, but we have such a limited mind and a limited perspective that we cannot possibly grasp what is going on in this world. Our human mind is not capable of that. But what I do know and trust in is that a power much greater than myself, that there is a divine pattern that is unfolding through us, not just
Mm.
you and me, but through humanity. That I trust, and I trust in the goodness of humanity. That I trust. What's outpicturing on the television is really, well, it's pretty much unhealed trauma, and so we have all experienced unhealed trauma. I feel in
Mm.
some degree, to some degree or another, and sometimes it just doesn't outpicture well. It doesn't. And so that's why being conscious and aware at this time in the world is so important, because we have a power, we have a omnipresent power everywhere in its entirety, even in
Mm.
the people that we don't want to think it is in them as well. So yes,
I
yes.
kept thinking the universe always says yes. It doesn't know the word no. So whenever you
Hmm.
put something out there, it just says, "Okay, we'll give it to you. Here you go." Well,
Right.
you need to feel it to understand it, and then you'll actually have it. And it's like,
Yeah. So we live in a reflective universe. We do
there we go.
indeed. We do. And we have to also be compassionate about that, because in old school science of mind, we used to blame, like, what's in your consciousness? Why are you sick? Why did you trip and fall? Why are you not wealthy? We
Mm.
used to point the finger in consciousness. And we have to have compassion because we were born into, I say, we're swimming in the soup of belief systems. And we were born into limiting belief systems, whether it was our family members, our teachers, whoever put limits, planted those within us. We have to have compassion, because that's our work to do. That's our work
Mm.
to do, is the belief systems that we are unaware of. And um, as we pray through them, grow through them, take action through them, the universe can't help but say yes, like you said, Rich, to the new belief systems that we'll plant. But we have to
Mm.
uproot and pull the roots out of the old belief systems, and that's the work. And that's the work.
It's like the garden metaphor that Ernest Holmes said, plant a seed in the soil, which is a law,
Right.
and then it comes up, then we just pull out what we don't want.
Exactly. Exactly. But if we don't know what's back there, I say back there, I always point to the back of our head, because we can't see what's behind us, right? So it's hiding back there. If we can't see it or we don't know it, then how do we, so it's
Mm.
the self-awareness and the digging. Like, get curious when these repeated patterns show up in your life. They are from a belief system that we're not aware of. If they keep
Mm.
repeating, it's a belief system that is rising to the when it comes up. Pay attention,
That's just,
because that's a belief system showing itself to you. So rather than go down the spiral, down the rabbit hole with it, get curious about it, because it's showing you this. I'm showing you a belief system that you have,
mm.
again, coming up to be healed. So then you get curious, and that's where you can start with prayer, with action, with therapy. Sometimes dig it on up, pull out the roots. Yes,
Now,
and then
now, how do you start your day? Can you share that with us?
No, you got to do it right, Paul. You got to say, How do you start your day? Do you go, yes, I'm alive?
I wish, I wish, but I do always start it with a thank you, God. That's the first thing that comes out of my in my consciousness when I wake up. Thank you, God. Thank you for everything. And I have been an avid meditator for over 25 years, and I still
Mm,
my spiritual practice is at least an hour every day. And
Mm,
so that's meditation, that's breath work. That's a I do something called what's called riding the dragon. It's a moving meditation to open up my energy. And so it's usually, I'm not going to say it perfectly, but I do at least an hour every morning.
mm.
riding the
Mhm.
dragon. Can you
Yeah.
elaborate on that a little bit if you choose to? Because I've always been a fan of dragons. Dragon
Ah,
stories.
yeah. Well, the dragon is, we always say we have to slay our dragons,
Mm,
dragons being a negative, like our anger. Our anger can be considered a dragon. But instead of slaying our dragons, what if we got to ride it? You know,
Mm.
what if we got to ride it and dance with it and honor it as a part of who we are? Then we're out of resistance because we know what we resist persists.
Persist. Right.
So if we're trying to slay our dragons, we're resisting. So if we ride it, then we're dancing with it.
Right. And if we slay it, we're slaying part of who we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we're not honoring it and loving it because of those parts of us that show up that we want to slay are once again showing up to be loved and
Mm.
healed and integrated. Hmm. Yes.
And that's what we
So
need
that's
more of today. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because then it just creates, reactivity, and reactivity, shows up like it's showing up on television right now.
Mm. So can you share with us your pop-up prayer? That was very fascinating for me.
Ah, so during COVID, I'm still a nurse, and I was a COVID charge nurse. I was the charge nurse on the COVID unit in 2020 and 2021, and I felt helpless. I felt helpless because people were dying all around me, and I was you know, trying to help people, and I
Mm.
didn't know what to do. So I said, well, one thing I know I can do is pray. And so I would pop up onto social media and pray for the nurses. I would pray for people who I saw were suffering. I prayed for everybody and anyone because I knew it was so needed.
Mm.
And I would pray on social media, and there were nurses that would come up to me at the hospital, and they would be crying. I mean, we are in the worst of
Mm.
conditions, the worst of conditions. I felt like we were at war. All of the death that we were experiencing, and they would come up to me in tears. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you so much.
Mm.
I so needed your prayers. And I didn't realize that it was going to have that effect on people. I just wanted to try and make a difference, because, like I said, we were struggling. We were struggling on our in the hospitals, and so I was so grateful to know that those prayers were making a difference. And so I continued to do them, and I'm going to beginning to do them on our social media for Pacific Coast
Mm.
now, because I feel like we're in that time again. I feel like we're in that time where people really needs love and support and prayer.
That's
it's
beautiful.
it is so
Yeah.
important that I mean, right now you're reaching out to about 1,000 people a month in terms of the hits,
Mm,
and
mm,
we're talking all over the world because we get the statistics in. So when you're talking this, you're talking to everybody out there in the world that needs
Mm.
a prayer, that wants a prayer,
mm-hmm,
and you just told
mm.
them where they can get a prayer from your site.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Beautiful, and there's a lot of people that resonate with the challenges that you had at that time and others had at that time. So I think that's a wonderful thing. So, Paul, what's
Thank
the
you.
next question, sir?
Have you seen your prayer evolving since becoming a minister?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Just, I have, I think, for me, I will call it taking responsibility. I have taken
Mm.
responsibility for who I am, and so that makes me more mindful of, because life is a prayer. Life is a prayer. So it's not just just one little moment where I'm speaking my words. It is, I'm speaking, thinking, and putting out energy at all times. And so
Mm,
that is affecting this thing that we call the law, this infinite field of potentiality that we are a part of. That as I am moving and breathing and having my beingness in the world, that is a prayer. So I think that's where how it's evolved is now I've taken responsibility for that, and so I'm more aware of who I be in the world. And God, please know I'm not perfect. I don't want to put that out there.
What?
I'm I have my moments, but
You're
I
not the perfect.
no, absolutely not. But I have my moments, and but I recover faster. You know, I
mm,
accept responsibility for it when I do go sideways a little bit, and I if I need to apologize and it's called to me, it's called restore integrity. In
mm.
AA, and you know, I am sober. I've been sober. It'll be 30 years this year. 30 years sober. In
Wow,
AA, we learn.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
That's
Yeah, we
huge.
learn.
Yeah.
It is huge. It
It
is.
is.
Thank you. Yeah. But we learn to make amends. And amends is more than just a apology. It's I'm going to do something about it. And
Mm.
so if I do stray off center, you know, I make amends.
Yeah, we always have a choice to come back, and we can choose
Mhm.
again. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, yes,
So when do you
absolutely.
release your prayer?
Whew. Well, in our 5 step prayer, the last step is release, and sometimes people just skim over it, and I release and I let it go, and it is done. And I feel that that is the most powerful. One of all the steps are powerful that in our 5 step
Mm,
prayer, but release is powerful because it creates a void. When we let go of something, like if you have, like I have a, I don't know if this will show up in the picture. I have a pen in my hand, and when I release it, it's gone. Right, my hand is now empty. I'm trying to find this camera. Sorry, my hand is now empty. I've created a void, right? And the universe loves to fill a void. So now we can
mm.
fill that void with that which we want, which is our affirmative, portion of our prayer. So it's important that we let that go. And if it comes back up in our consciousness, like we start worrying about it, we can always say, "Oh yeah, I let that go. I gave that to God." And then
Mm.
just keep. If it comes back up, we worry. Oh, I let that go. I gave it to God. Okay, so letting go is very important.
Right, we
So
have a
that,
direction in which to let it go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We had one question in there. What triggers a prayer in your life for you in your practice and stuff? And you talked about the doubt there, but what happens when just something comes into you? Boom! That 5 second thing. You just readjust yourself, is what I'm hearing. You readjust the
Yes,
way you're looking at it.
yes, absolutely. If I find that any struggle that I have, I just go to prayer because I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it
Mm.
out. So if I'm trying to figure out, wait a minute, there's a power greater than myself who has more answers than I do. So I go there, and so struggle is my indicator, to go to
That
prayer.
adjustment of prayer, that the challenge comes up, then you go into prayer and be steeped in it and be open to the solution that the
Hmm.
universe has to provide for you. Is what I'm hearing, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely,
Cool.
yes,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's how we got through ministerial school, just through
Oh
I
prayer.
know.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. The what has changed with your prayers over time? Like, what are the specifics? I mean, I was raised in the Christian philosophy and stuff and other philosophies, and there's different prayers for different things. But over
Hmm.
time, how does your prayer change? Oh God, I know this has got to work. That type of thing.
Right, right. Yes, yes. I was brought up Catholic, and so we prayed to God outside of ourselves,
Mm.
and it's I still find myself sometimes going there. It's been ingrained in me for many years, and sometimes I'll notice, oh wait a minute, okay, God's not outside of you. I catch myself, but I love the biggest change I would say is knowing that there is a God within me, that the God
Mm,
resides within me. It's all within me. We have this God whose center is everywhere and circumference is nowhere. So knowing that the center of God is me, is you, is each one of us, is the center of God. So I just knowing that I can go within and tap
mm.
into that source within me. So sweet, so powerful.
I
And
always
not
think
some
of
of God, but all of God is there.
All of
That's what,
God, yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's not
remember the
dilute.
I remember the quote that God is within, not without. I think that's in the Christian Bible, depending on the
Hmm.
Oh, the
flavor.
pre-Socratics came up with that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And I well, they pull every. We had a show on knowledge and where it all come from, and it's all coming from someplace and moving itself up, and then we're all open to presenting it in a different way that allows us to learn more. But uh,
Mm.
prayer specifics, Paul, do you want to get that one because you talked about that earlier?
So Veronica, you mentioned the 5 steps,
Hmm.
and release is important. How do the other steps play into your prayer?
Mm. Well, the first two steps are also, I said the last step was really important. Well, the first two steps are important too.
They're all important, yeah.
Yeah, they're all important. But because when we recognize that there is a God, everywhere present in its entirety, we are tapping into the truth of who we are, right?
Mm,
We're tapping into that, the truth of all of humanity and creation. So we're aligning
mm,
ourselves with that. And as we say it, our energy starts to respond to it, because we respond to when truth is spoken. When you get goosebumps and truth is
mm,
spoken. So when we start speaking that truth, we have a bodily response, and so our energy responds. And so we're recognizing that God is all there is for step one, and then we're unifying with it for step two.
mm,
And those two bring us into that receptive state, that powerful state where we start to feel and realize that we are one with this power. And I recommend that until you get to that state, keep saying to yourself, I am one
mm,
with this power, whatever words, feelings, actions that it takes for you to get to that place of oneness. Because then, as we declare our truth, we are declaring it from that place of oneness. And so that those two steps are the integration of myself and God as one. And then we declare our truth, whatever we are affirming for ourselves: health, wholeness, peace, love, a new job, whatever it is. And then we are grateful. Once we've declared the truth, we're grateful as if it's already happened.
mm,
Not grateful for it happening in the future sometime. We're grateful we're living in it now. In our prayer,
mm,
we're seeing and being exactly what we're affirming. So I'm seeing myself in that new job, getting that nice big paycheck, or in my health and wholeness, and my body is the health and wholeness of God. We see it and we feel it and we embody it.
mm.
And we say, thank you for this truth. And then we let it go. We let it go,
And you
knowing that,
drop the mic.
yep, drop the mic. We know God's got it. God's got it.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
I had a bunch of those goosebumps already during this time, so thank you.
Yes. Good, good. Those are great. God bumps. I think somebody called them God
God
bumps.
God
bumps. There
bumps.
you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
Hey, do you have a special book of Ernest Holmes that you read?
Oh gosh, I like all of his little books, all the little ones like this, The Art of Life. Here's The Art of Life.
Mm,
All these little ones that he has, they're all good. I mean, every one that I open is speaks truth to me. And whenever I'm not sure of something, I'll just grab one of these little books and open it up, and it will tell me what I need to hear.
Mm.
So
that's
I
perfect.
don't know if I have a favorite, but I will tell you when it comes to prayer, my favorite is The Five Steps to Freedom, um, by John Waterhouse. This is a powerhouse book, and it is an amazing book on prayer. And he talks in there about being that we are living prayer, that
Mm,
we move, like we live and move and have our beingness in God, and to be aware of what we're speaking and what we're putting out into the world, because we know that it will come back to us if we continuously put it out. If we continuously put it out, it will it'll come back.
I think we
Isn't
had
it funny? Oh, go ahead, Rich.
I think we had one reverend on said that every thought's a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And so
Right.
anything that you're thinking or putting out there in the universe or speaking it becomes your universe.
Yes, yes. And I want to be careful too, like that we're not fear basing it as well. To
mm,
know that I feel that it is repetitive thought, repetitive energy, repetitive, like this dominant pattern that we create. So we create a dominant pattern of thought based on our beliefs and based on our experience. Like if someone has had multiple relationships that perceived as not working, I'm not going to say they didn't work, because we learn something from everything, right?
mm,
But the perception is that the relationships don't work. They're going to can put out, and the relationships don't work. I'm not good at relationships. They're just not consciously either. So it's a
mm.
repetitive thought pattern. I think repetitive thought patterns are what we have to be mindful of. Thought here and there, I don't know if it's as impactful as a repetitive thought and repetitive energy patterns.
That's why we pray without ceasing.
Absolutely. That's why we keep ourselves clean and clear and current. Hmm.
Mm.
So we're at the 4-minute mark. Go ahead and shotgun the last questions.
How would you
Uh-oh,
explain
okay.
this? How would you explain our philosophy to someone who doesn't know it?
Ooh, that's always a good question. I always come to, it is done unto you as you believe. It is done
Mm,
unto you as you believe. So take a look at what do you believe, and and start doing the work.
Mm.
mm.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's the simple, what do they call it? The elevator?
Oh yeah, the elevator
Because
talk.
the elevator, because it starts, because just that simple, you start to think, well, what is it that I believe? Well, how do you know what you believe? You take a look at your life. And
Mm,
your life will show you what you believe. And if there's some areas that you don't particularly care for, then you get curious. Let me start doing some digging and pulling some roots out there.
mm. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
Great,
we talk
Rich.
about when do you release prayer into law?
We did. We did. We did.
I
Let
was
it
going to
go.
say, yeah, I was going to
We,
say the question I had on that for you is uh, when do you actually use this? You said you don't use this up. You use the 5-step prayer. We had that pre-conversation, but on the
Mhm.
7-step prayer, do you ever use that? Is there a certain time that you use that where we're denying power to things?
uh, I don't. I
Okay.
don't.
Mm,
I don't. It doesn't, for me, I am a big feeler person. I'm a feely person, and it doesn't feel right to me. And so I don't use it to the denial. It almost, to me, and for some people it works, and they're very with conviction. And so I say, whatever works, use it.
mm.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
And what would you like our audience to take away from this today?
Uh, there's no right or wrong way to pray. If your intentions and your heart are into it, then that's what matters. You
Mm,
don't have to have the right perfect words and the right perfect sequencing. Just start where you're at. And if you want to learn more, there's many opportunities to learn more. But I don't want anyone to not pray because they're afraid they're going to do it wrong. I don't want that. Just prayer, like we said, your life is a prayer. So set your intentions, speak your truth, open your heart. That's prayer.
and at
Same.
Pacific Coast CSL, you teach those classes, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We have classes, we have meditations, and please join us. All are welcome, as is.
Mm,
Yeah, they
Yes.
have some very good meditations and things. You check out their site at pacificcsl.org, and you'll
Hmm.
see all the different classes and different types of meetings and online meetings. Because I
Yes.
sometimes I visit your morning sessions, and they're, hey, welcome. So
Yes, we have a great prayer session. If I could plug that, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. on Zoom, and you get support and prayer and a reading for the day led by our practitioners. It's a powerful way to start your day, Monday through Friday. The link is on our website. Please join it. It's a great support.
And Rich will
yeah,
put the link below as well.
yeah, we always put
Yeah.
everything in the show notes for that for people to look up. The I guess the takeaway for it is that we need to do a prayer, and then we'll plug your site and center, which we just did. Let's know that you are awesome, and go ahead and if you pray us out, and then we'll do the closing stuff for plugging our sites again.
Okay, all right. So once again, let's take a deep breath, bringing us to this now moment. The breath of God. So grateful indeed for this shared time together, this time to talk about my favorite topic, prayer and God. Yes, indeed. Amen. I say yes to that. And so I'm so grateful for these beautiful souls who are holding this space, Rich and Paul, for holding this space for us to share these beautiful principles and practices with all who are meant to hear it. And so we know that this podcast here falls upon the perfect ears who hear exactly what they need to hear from this discussion here today, and that their lives are changed. They see life differently now because of this time that we've shared together, and they walk differently in the world. Their hearts are opened, and they know the true magnificence of who they are. That is the truth that I know of this time together. And for that, I am grateful, and I release it knowing that it is done. And we are saying together, and so
And
it
so it
is.
is.
So I'm Reverend Rich, Prayers Radio. This is Reverend,
Reverend Paul at IamSpiritAlive.com.
and this is Reverend Veronica.
Veronica, Pacific Coast Centers for Spiritual Living in Seal Beach,
Yay.
California.
If you want to see humans, visit their site. I'm also at ocspiritualcenter.com. Visit there also. But you should check out all the sites, check out all the places, go to the different centers, see what they have to offer, because you're going to find one that resonates with you no matter where you go, and then you'll find your home.
Amen.
Yay.
So,
Thank you,
bye.
Veronica. Bye.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much.